imagine this person takes this job offer, and then 2 years later, they are competing for a job with a person that didn't take the job, the person that, maybe did a co-op and then finished with a 4-year degree. Who's more valuable in the market? So we're going to start a new, what I'm hoping to be a recurring segment. Yeah. Us reading Reddit and providing our 2 cents. And who knows, maybe at some point we'll create a subreddit where people can reply. But for now, we are going to peruse the Reddits and read off some questions, because you know what they say, Chris, there's no such thing as a stupid question, just a stupid answer.
Well, except for the question. I always say the only stupid question is a question not asked. So
there you go. I totally can think, I could believe that you live by that principle, judging from how you interact with people.
Yep. First thing I do, I warn people, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions.
So we're going to read some questions today. These questions are going to be geared towards people that are very early on in their career. Some people have not yet even started it. And we're going to start today with ElementalGoat, who asked the question, will the rough job market stay the same for the coming years? Rethinking my choices in life. So for context, this is a senior in high school. They have applied to schools with the idea of going into comp-sci or economics, but leaning more towards comp-sci. There's some trepidation, though. They've recently seen many people complaining about the horrible job market, being unemployed for years, applying to thousands of jobs. This makes them apprehensive about pursuing a career in tech, especially with comp-sci growing in popularity as a college major. Do you think the job market will get any better? Should I even be worrying about this yet, or should I just do what I enjoy doing and pursue comp-sci?
Yes. Follow your dreams.
Follow your dream. And question answer. This is going to be a terrible segment. No, so let's talk about the job market, because imagine yourself being a senior in high school, and you hear all these people who are graduating. They bought into the belief that if you go to school, you work hard in college, you get a degree, you're guaranteed a job. I don't think that's really true anymore.
I will say, if that's what your senior year was, my senior year was two different experiences.
That's what I was told. And it was, if you want to get a good job, just get a college degree and you're pretty much guaranteed a job.
Yeah, that's.
At least this person is
asking first.
Asking first.
But listening to the question, the short of it though is, you're asking for a job market that is in 3 to 4 years down the line, right? When you start looking for your first internships, entry level positions, it's not, the space is not going to look the same. I mean, even if you look within the last year, the things that you're talking about are within the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Last year, right? And before that, it wasn't necessarily talked about in this extreme terms.
Yeah, I think whatever the job market's going to be when this person is looking for work, it's not going to be this job market. So that's the only thing we know. Nobody knows what the job market's going to be in 4 years. Yep. Nobody does. If they say they do, they're lying. What we do know, though, is the current job market is going to be different. And what we also know is no matter how tough the job market is, there is always a demand for highly skilled individuals, even at the entry-level position. Mm-hmm. So,
and especially self-driven individuals as well.
Yeah, I will concede that the market today, it's not enough to just have a college degree. You need experience, you need relevant experience, and you need, maybe even side projects, internships. There are a lot of jobs out there, but there are a lot of people applying to those jobs. Mm-hmm. I was talking to somebody the other day who, and I was congratulating them for the job that they got. They beat out 30 people for their job. I've never competed against 30 people for a job.
Yeah.
But I reminded her of that because I wanted her to realize how amazing she was. You beat out 30 people for that job. And she, didn't think she was anything special. but she had the drive, the ethic, the hustle to like grow and learn, and she was easy to work with too. But I think people need to not worry so much about the market and worry more about how marketable you are as an individual.
Worry about your quality.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too is, you're mentioning about how there's a drive to computer science. Like, I don't know how much of a reality that is. I mean, we went to a career fair within the last, year or so, and there was, and at a technical college. And like, how many computer science majors have we seen?
Well, when you say tech college, you're not referring to like a 2-year tech
engineering,
it's like a
4-year,
a reputable engineering degree where 90% of them are in engineering.
Yeah, computer science and computer engineering was not high at all. They exist, but it wasn't like overwhelmingly like, hey, here's a bunch of things.
Yeah, and especially now too, like data is such a hot thing. Anybody with a computer science degree that's getting in that is interested in getting into data, big data, you got to remember AI is great, but its foundation is data. Mm-hmm. If you cannot have AI in your product or in your business until you have clean and usable data. So a computer science degree is highly marketable right now, and I can't imagine that's going to change in the next 4 years.
Yeah, and going back to my experience, 15 years ago, when I started, my cohort was like 300 people, 250. There's a crazy amount of people in a classroom. Yeah. Once we got to computer science 251, so it was like the third programming class or like computer science class. That was the make it or break it class. Like, once that class was old, as you sat there during that semester, that group got smaller and smaller every week, and it came down to about 50 or like 30 people when it was all said and done. Of who I started out with, and this is the group that we're going with for the rest of the pathway.
Yeah, I think too. Like, there's just a lot of people that have like opted to do the code camp route, so the market is saturated with those type of people. Like I don't want to say you're not competing with those type of people, but the dev code camps aren't filling in the jobs for data scientists and machine learning. They're filling in the roles for like full stack web app developers. So I don't think the market's going to be first. I don't think the market's as bad as you might believe. And I think if you apply yourself in college, especially in the CS side of things, you'll be pleasantly surprised when you get out of it.
Yeah, and not to say that like you said, there is still some issues with the job market now. There's definitely an oversaturation today, but that's going to ease up in the next 6 months because either people are going to make their own startups, they're going to do their own thing. Like, if you have a self-driven developer, like, they're going to find a way to apply their craft.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wouldn't worry about it. You're too young. You got plenty of time. Just do what you love doing.
Yep. And, you'll be surprised in the opportunities that you will find along the way.
All right. Moving on. IT intern as a freshman. This is by tilakny. They're a student, freshman. They're getting a computer science degree with minors in computer engineering and business administration at Northeastern University. I got a few offers for an IT internship positions at various companies. Should I take the internship even though it's IT and I want to go into AI and do a +1 master's? What does a +1 master's mean?
It's like it's a certification.
Oh. How is that any different than a master's degree?
You got your master's plus a certification.
Oh.
So you remember like when you do, again, going back 20 years ago, right? You got your A+ certificate for working on it's it's in a similar vein as that.
Got it. I'm an idiot. My other option would be to take classes and grow my programming skills, as right now I only have basic programming skills from my classes and some smaller projects for my own learning. Will having an IT internship, and this is really the crux of the question, will having an IT internship help me, especially in this market, for when I apply for co-ops as a sophomore? So this question has a little bit more of an immediate need because they're going to be applying probably in the spring. Mm-hmm. They're worried that if I don't take this internship this IT internship, I might be at a disadvantage when I apply for my co-ops, presumably in machine learning and AI.
Yeah.
What do you say?
If they have opportunities for you to express yourself in like what you're wanting to learn, then sure, why not? Get the experience that that might help you. However, if you're taking it because you feel like you just need to take it, then it's not worth it.
Yeah, don't take it. Like we've given advice to people to take internships as freshmen, but never an internship that you don't feel is directly applicable to what it is you want to do. Like if you're just taking an internship, and like when they say IT, I'm thinking like running network cables and updating printer drivers.
Right.
Like that has no bearing on whether or not I'm going to bring you on to my co-op to work on a project.
Yeah. However, there's always opportunities sometimes with an internship and getting class credit. I mean, my wife, she's got an intern right now, and she's like, hey, you know what? Can I take this job that I'm doing and apply college credit toward it?
Yep.
Sure. Like, and I know for me, when I was in computer science, I had to do a networking class, and if they're doing a semester or a summer of just doing networking, then maybe that's enough practical experience that you can get past that class.
But the question here is more relevant to like
your career path, not necessarily just.
Well, no, is it going to help the co-op application? Like the internship might help you expedite your graduating, but is it pertinent? Does it benefit them in any way to applying to a co-op that's doing like machine learning?
Realistically, probably not.
Yeah. It's funny that this question came up because like my first gig in college, and so for those of you who don't know, I didn't graduate college, but I still went to college. My first gig in college was running network cables and installing printer drivers, but it was for a software company. So I'm like, yeah, get me in the door. Like that's all I cared about. And I knew that once I got in there, I would be able to create an opportunity, and I did, and they hired me in as a programmer. But like that would be the only exception to this is like, are you doing IT at a company that does machine learning and AI?
Yeah.
Maybe in that case, just to get your name out there and to familiarize yourself with.
Because that could extend into your co-op or, into a better job prospect in the future. Because sometimes just being in a place with peers, building your network in that way, it can open up doors for you in the future.
But you're a freshman, dude. Like you
got time.
You got so much time. Yeah, I wouldn't even like stress the co-op as a sophomore. I know a lot of colleges are like pressing students to like get an internship as a freshman, do a co-op as a sophomore, get another internship as a junior. Like I would say as a junior, you should you should be looking like hard. As a senior, you absolutely need an internship. But if you're a freshman, man. Like
and I remember, again, my college days, my freshman year, we had to do like a resume whatever class, and we had to go to the career fair and get business cards and stuff, and like I was a freshman. Like like I could have gotten in somewhere, but like I had time to figure things out.
Yeah.
Or sorry, I needed time to figure things out.
I'm impressed you got an offer for an internship as a freshman in general, which I would be kind of leery of too, because it sounds like they're just going to have you doing like grunt work, like move this box from here to here and bring it back. Like there's not a lot as a freshman. And I say this from the perspective of when we do internships, like we embed you on the team, you do the work that you would normally do as a full-time employee, but you do it with no capacity and it's all learning. Like to me, that's an internship. It's not
just get coffee
and move some boxes. So I would be really leery of an internship offered to a freshman in general.
But it might also be worth asking them some follow-up questions, because there actually might be some latitude to do some sort of development there.
Yeah, like maybe, hey, I'm going to school for machine learning. Can I do this internship, but maybe do some other stuff related to ML for you? Yeah. I would eat that up all day if I was a hiring manager. Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Especially like if the company doesn't have any of the machine learning, like they would.
And they have a desire to go into it.
Everybody has a desire to go into it. Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Some people don't. But all right, so we're traversing the years here. We did high school, and then we did freshman in college. Now we're talking to somebody who's got a couple of years of college under their belt. This question is from centrysamf. Should I postpone a bachelor's degree for a full-time job? That is a tough one.
Yep.
I remember I told somebody who I desperately wanted to hire, just drop out of college and come work for me. That's terrible advice, by the way, but there's especially because that person was like maybe a semester away from completing it, or not even. It was like
there's so many people that are a semester or a class or something away from completing their degree, and like honestly, in this question, you need to weigh your options of how much do you value your education versus
the job,
being in the field, because once you walk away from, now you could do night classes and things like that, but once you walk away from school, it is very difficult to get back into it.
Yeah. Okay. So this question is really long, and I'm not going to read all of it, but to summarize it, and we'll have links to all these in the description. This is a person who is currently enrolled in a 3-year college software development program. They've completed 3 semesters, they're about a year and a half into it, and they're also working for a mid-sized company, and they're doing some cool stuff. They're working in React and GraphQL. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. They love it. They love their co-op. They're really enjoying it. They might love it too much because this person has been offered, there's the promise of an offer to come at the end of the semester. So by the time the offer gets there, they would have gone to school for 2 years and could presumably convert that into some sort of associate's degree. But they would be walking away from that last year at that 3-year program. And then I think the way that it works is the 3-year program then
like the credits transfer to like a university.
Yeah. And then they would work during the day and then go to school at night, but they would eventually get their 4-year degree. So they're asking like, well, what should I do? Should I take this job, or should I continue with my original plan? And I'm terrible to ask this question because I don't value college degrees nearly as much as the normal person. And like to the point where if I'm reading a resume, I don't even look at the education. I pretty much, especially in this situation, I'll look at what was your projects, what was your internship, what was your co-op. That's all the stuff that matters more to me. But what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, again, I'm 15 years out from being in college myself. Like at this point in my career, like it doesn't mean anything because things have changed so much since then. And now I've got a lot of practical experience under this. And again, it's kind of the question for this person as well is, what do they value? Do they value their education? Do they value this work experience? And it's honestly in the job market right now, I would say, in the job market right now, it's a lot more tempting and probably a safer bet to stay in the job because you don't know what it's going to be when you're done with school.
Yeah.
Because they might keep you on as, co-op, intern, whatever it might be, but they might not because, you're only there part-time rather than they might need somebody full-time now.
Yeah, it's like the bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Like you have we'll call it a sure thing. The employer could walk back their offer, but you basically have a sure thing now. And I like to just lay out the economics of this. Imagine this person takes this job offer, and then 2 years later, they are competing for a job with a person that didn't take the job, the person that, maybe did a co-op and then finished with a 4-year degree. Who's more valuable in the market? I would argue it's the person with 2 years of college and then 2 years of practical experience. They are going to stand out more than the person that just did a 4-year degree and maybe a co-op and an internship.
Limited experience.
Yeah. So now there might be some like HR systems that are just going to naturally exclude you from potential jobs because you don't have your degree doesn't start with the letter B, right? But you don't want to work for those places anyway. Like the types of jobs where you actually want to work at, the types of jobs that look at the substance of your resume, they're going to value you more than that other
paper.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's GraphQL and React. Like that's hard. It's hard to find jobs in stacks that are like fun.
Yeah.
It sounds like they like the team. It sounds like they like the job.
Yeah.
The other way I like to look at it is close your eyes and pretend you got a bachelor's degree. Would you take the job? Probably, right?
If you were sitting right now, just sitting on the fence, which way would
you take the job, right? So take the job, and and this is coming from somebody who doesn't have a degree. So again, I'm always gonna look at this just differently, but I would actually say there's more risk in not taking it.
as the way things are right now.
Yeah.
However, but like you said, there's the promise of a job. That doesn't necessarily guarantee that there is one.
Yeah, before you do anything, make sure you have something in writing, and your boss should be able to write you a job offer well in advance. I've written many job offers that were like dated 6 months out. Yeah. That was almost standard practice at the universities when we would have college kids who would apply. Like every business would write an offer that was dated 6 months in the future. Because you didn't want that person to like go work somewhere else.
Right. Which, there's someone that, we staffed and they just jerked them around.
Oh yeah. They interned for a company, and the company like dangled the potential of full-time employment for a long time. And we kind of snuck in and stole her and brought her over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she was also done with that company at that point of like, this has gone on too long. But they screwed up. And I will die on that hill over and over and over again. They screwed up bad.
Oh, yeah. They would admit they screwed up probably. I talked to one of the executives of that company, and they were kind of like lamenting the fact that they can't always pull the trigger on some of these college students when they want, and they realize they know they're losing people.
Yeah.
But it's a big corporation, so
yeah.
What are you gonna do? So yeah, I would say postpone it. You're not saying don't ever get it.
No, I mean, again, it's what do you find valuable in your life?
I think it's even more cut and dry. I know you're trying to like.
Well, I mean, that's you. Yeah, but I don't know. But your and my motivations, I think, are different toward like in the workplace a little bit.
What my motivation is money and career growth.
Yeah, mine is mine is knowledge and career growth.
Yeah. So, but no, I think those two things. Our goals align sometimes.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
That's why we work well together.
But yeah, I would encourage you, and it sounds like you would too, to
especially right now for sure.
Take the job.
But I would also say if you are going if you still want to maintain or continue toward that bachelor's degree, start 9 classes. Don't wait too long.
Because you'll never do it.
Because you'll never do it. Honestly, there was one semester that I didn't take any programming classes, and the next semester I came back to a programming class. I was so rusty.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I spent half the semester just relearning what I forgot.
Yeah, there is value in having the bachelor's degree. I think, as you alluded to, though, the longer you go without it, the less value that degree has.
Mm-hmm. Especially in this field.
Yeah. A lot of companies are like rethinking their whole approach towards degrees, and hopefully that translates into colleges realizing they can't charge an arm and a leg for a degree, and maybe they rethink that model a little bit.
Yeah. Well, and I know that we've had I've had a couple of our previous interns ask, like, okay, like I'm about to graduate, like should I pursue my master's or should I be still working?
Oh, never pursue your master's. Never.
Unless you're going into a research position that is...
Who's doing that? Like,
there's some people that are.
Okay, sure. But
like you're going to work for the DOD, and you're like, those are going to be...
For the 99% of you who are not doing that, do not get a master's degree. Like, prove... Like, so there are some jobs you'll get that they'll say, like, if you want to get promoted, get a master's degree. That is the only time I would encourage you to, like, get a master's degree. It is... I've interviewed people. They're like, "Well, I have a master's degree. I should be making $150,000." I'm like, "Yeah, but what can you do? Like, you can't do anything." Like I got this other person here that went to a 2-year tech college, and they can
outpacing you,
code circles around you. Yeah, like so. Yeah, in software, a master's degree, like maybe now. Marquette University, they have an amazing master's program, and this is a degree that I would encourage developers to get. Get your bachelor's in computer science, and then later in life, get your master's in business. Get an MBA. Now, normally an MBA, the dumbest degree to get. It's like the garbage.
Candy.
Yeah. But the master's program at Marquette is designed for engineers who want to run companies. It is a brilliant program. I was talking to somebody about this at a basketball game. They're like, I got a bachelor's in computer science, and then when I was 35, I got a master's at Marquette in business, and I was able to take all of the technology that I knew, all the computer science I had, and I was able to leverage that in a manner where I could run a software company. Because like, how do you manage a budget and projects, and how do you balance your IT budget and all that stuff? Like, there's things that you're gonna get in a master's program that like I wouldn't. Ironically, I would not get a. Do they even offer masters in like computer science? Like, what would that even be? Like,
AI is one of
AI,
them.
okay, yeah,
machine learning.
Sure.
Or it's a lot more specialized.
Okay.
Emphasis.
So yeah, if you're gonna go into that, sure. But I would argue that it might even be a better use of your time to like become like an Azure MVP in AI versus, paying for a master's. But a business master's degree with a computer science degree, especially if you want to get into like the C-suite or even like IT executive roles, that's a must. Like that's the only thing I regret in not having a bachelor's degree is I would have to go back and do all that to get that master's.
What's funny is MSOE, they do all those classes at the part of the engineering degree.
The reason I say go to Marquette is the network of people you will build there. Those are like the future leaders and in all of the Fortune 500 companies. They like those people are saturated all over the country. Those people you're going to meet at Marquette are going to be able to plug you in everywhere you go. So I don't think like MSOE is the place where a lot of like. Just go to LinkedIn and look at all the alum for all of the C-suite, even like here or in Chicago. Like they're all like business heavy colleges,
individuals.
Yeah. So, yep. That's my college advice from a non-college graduate. Take it as you will.
Yeah.
I
think the one thing we both agree on is if you're gonna get a master's, be certain you're gonna need it and use it,
and be like really strategic about it. Yeah. Like again.
It's another 2 years that you can add it onto your career minimum.
Yeah, and it's hard. It's hard. But all right, those are Reddit questions. We'll do more.
Yeah.
Did you like doing this?
Yeah, I like trying to help people. That's all I want to do, and that's all. I think that's what we're all about anyway.
Yeah, I think we'll do. I don't know if we're gonna do this a lot, like every week, but this is a nice like take a break from news and topical crap and just give real advice. Now, our responses to all of these are going to be posted as replies on all of these posts, and hopefully the person who posted it will see it.
Yeah.
And if you have any other questions, you can either comment. Yeah. We'd love to have that. So, all right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. See you.
See ya.